2, 1. Welcome to BS Draftcast, where we are Brandon and Steven, and we are back at you with another one. As always, I got my cousin Steven on the other line. This time he's back in Pennsylvania, no longer in Virginia. So, how's it feel to be back home, Steven?
Well, it was the weather's not as nice as it was in Virginia. I'll just put it that way. It's cold, rainy, and shitty in Pennsylvania. But you know what? If somebody asked me to describe the weather in Pennsylvania, this would be it.
Yep, you're right. You're 100% right. Yeah, I mean, glad to have you back home. Get to hang out before you leave, hopefully. I mean, I think you said you're going to be home for a little bit, huh?
Yeah, it's looking like it. Probably until at least January.
Oh hell, then yeah, we should get together at some point. See how big Declan's getting.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to see him. Love to see the wife and kids.
Hell yeah. All right, well, let's dive right into it, man. Um, that Thursday night game, bro. I don't even know what to say about it. It was lackluster. It was horrible. Um, it was a trap game. Steelers just the defense played well and couldn't do anything on offense. It's been a routine as of late. At least Russ had a passing touchdown. We had a rushing touchdown this week. Um, yeah, the Browns when they play the Steelers, man, it's just any divisional game. It's like the Super Bowl. It's like when the Browns played the Ravens. This is the Browns Super Bowl, and I mean they beat both of us at once already. So
Yeah.
hats off to them. They came to play. Uh, some questionable things happen. We'll definitely dive into it and indulge in it, but we're not going to talk about the Steelers for 40 minutes just because it's my favorite team, and just want to cover it since it was Thursday. The first thing I want to point out is, Steven, what's your thoughts with as Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season, as we always hear. Mediocre Mike is 1-8 in road games. Uh, what's your thoughts on that? And I don't think he's ever won a divisional road game. I mean, what's your thought with that? I mean, is that? I mean, to me, that seems a bit concerning because the division's the ones that you need to win.
Yeah, that was what the Thursday night games.
Yeah, Thursday night.
Dude, that is, you know, I never would have guessed that. I really wouldn't have. I mean, Pittsburgh with the teams that they've had over the years, like
What's good,
never in a
Monkey? How you
million
doing,
years,
brother?
never would I have guessed that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy statistic if you look at it in the grand scheme of things. Um, hats off to Miles Garrett. I know everyone's saying that Miles Garrett dominated, blah blah blah. TJ didn't do anything. I mean, Miles Garrett doesn't get doubled and triple teamed every play, but I'm not here to sit here and go back and forth about Miles Garrett because I think Miles Garrett's a great player and TJ Watt's a great player. I'd take either one of them on my team. Um,
At least
but
you have one of them.
yeah, you're not wrong. Baltimore don't have one of them. That's for damn sure.
Nope.
It's just Steelers forced 3 turnovers and still come up short. Um, in a absolute blizzard at halftime. It just the snow's just dumping. Um, but I said it, man. Yeah, Russ's stats look inflamed 21, 28, 270, and a tud. But, bro, Russ didn't have the moon ball. And, I mean, he put some drives together, some big runs, finding some people open. But if the moon ball ain't there, man, Pittsburgh's going to lose. And that's just that's just the way it is. And it's unfortunate, but that's just what it is. Another controversial thing I want to touch base on is um, the call on fourth when it was third and two. Patrick screamed up the middle. Yo, Monkey, thank you for the ice cream cones, brother. I appreciate you, man. Greatly appreciate that. Um, the one thing I want to touch base on is the controversial call with um, fourth and two. They call an illegal touching because the lineman touched the ball first, and they Tomlin declined it. Then he decides to accept it, and then burns a timeout after 5 minutes of stoppage of play. I mean, if you're in that spot, are you trusting your defense on fourth and two to get that stop instead of giving them 2 chances on forcing it to 3rd and 7? Are you riding with that 4th and 2? And if you get a stop, I mean, realistically, you get a stop. I mean, yeah, you have a lot of time still on the clock, but they have down to 2 timeouts, and you may have to punt the ball back to them with like 35 seconds or so, and they got to get into field goal range, which is a lot more difficult in a absolute blizzard that was happening in Cleveland. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think that they should have just rode with the 4th and 2 and try to get the stop that way?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I know it's one of those deals where it's circumstantial, but I mean, I think so at that point in the game. Um, and I know the snow plays a factor. You know, the weather, the conditions, and everything play a factor in it too. But yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I've said it before. I said it leading up to Thursday night that Cleveland's probably going to beat Pittsburgh. It's just what it is. It's a trap game. Pittsburgh doesn't play well on Thursdays. They're never ready, and unfortunately, it bit them in the ass. Instead of going up 2 games in a division on Baltimore, Baltimore's right there on the edge still. I mean, Baltimore's still licking their chops trying to get that first place. I mean, it could come down to that final game. Pittsburgh versus Baltimore decides the winner of the division. And that cushion, if you beat the Browns, that little two game cushion could have played a huge factor in that, whether you win or lose. You could be resting your starters, and it doesn't matter. Baltimore gets the wild card, Pittsburgh gets the division. So it is what it is. It's unfortunate. And you have anything to add to that game? I mean, I know you didn't watch much of it, but I didn't know if there's any key points you want to point out. I know the one is I don't know why Mike Williams isn't on the field, but that's neither here or there.
Yeah. I was in the middle of moving, and then I got up to where I needed to be, and up there was no damn no service. So up in down in Somersville, West Virginia, there's no service. So I didn't get to watch any of the game, but talking to you about it and stuff. The one thing that I want to touch on the weather conditions, but I also wanted to touch on what you said about Mike Williams. I know that he's new to the offense and they're, you know, quote unquote trying to work him into the offense or whatever, but I think by now he's a veteran, you know, he's been in the league for a long time. So I think
Right.
by now he should be able to just come in and play. And I think that whenever you have a guy like Mike Williams and then you have a guy like George Pickens out there, two big bodied jump ball receivers, I mean, if you're trying to throw the ball, those are two guys that you want,
Get him
you know?
involved. Yeah.
Yeah, get them involved, man. Ideally, yeah. Yeah, you want them involved. The thing is when you're trying to run routes as like a, you know, a smaller receiver trying to run routes and try and, you know, set them up on a double move or anything like that. I mean, chances in the snow, you could lose your footing. It's not going to be as crisp. But a guy like Mike Williams, a guy like George Pickens, two big bodied guys, you know, if you're trying to go for that damn moon ball, there's not many people in the league that are much better than those two. So
Right.
I don't understand that.
I couldn't agree with you more, honestly. But questions are rolling in a little bit. Got a couple. Our man Monkey said what's good. I said what's up to him, and he also dropped 20 ice cream cones. So we appreciate that, man. Um, Kevin Negan asked, "Did I win or lose this trade?" He traded Gibbs, Cup, and DJ Moore for Devontae Adams, Malik Neighbors, and James Conner. Unfortunately, I'm gonna say you
I
have to
think you
lost that
lost.
trade.
Yeah, I think you
You
lost
lost
that
that
one,
trade,
dude.
bro.
Jameer Gibbs especially, man, that one really jumped out
Yeah.
right off the rip.
If it was a lateral move from Gibbs to Connor, I would say it's not a bad trade. But I mean, you're getting Tommy DeVito in the Giants, which I mean he isn't afraid to rifle that ball. So maybe Malik Neighbors explodes, but that Jets offense is it's piss poor. So Jaden asked Dobbs or Dobbins. I'm assuming he meant Dobbs or not Dobbs. Yeah, J.K. Dobbins or James Conner. Um. J.K. Dobbins has that revenge game against Baltimore. James Conner is facing that Seattle Seahawks defense. I'm gonna go James Conner.
I would go with James Conner. Yeah, I would go with James Conner as well.
All right, so Kenneth asked Chuba, Rashad, or Hunter Henry at the flex.
Chuba, Rashad, Hunter Henry. Is that Rashad White?
I'm assuming. Kenneth, is it Rashad White? Let us know in the comments.
I'm assuming it is. Yeah.
Me personally, I have Bucky Irving going. Yeah, Rashad White. I have Bucky Irving going off this week. So, and I don't like Chuba against Kansas City, but that defense has been playing kind of lackluster as of the last 2 weeks, honestly.
Chuba's been getting a lot of touches, like a lot of touches, and he gets the hard to get yards. I think I would personally run with Chuba. Yeah, Hunter Henry, he's just because the way that offense is set up, you know, you never know when he's actually going to do something. He's going to be a boomer bust guy, you know. But
I mean, he is our leading receiver on the team. But well, yeah, I gotta go Chuba.
Jonathan Brooks is going to be playing for Carolina. He's coming off that torn ACL that he suffered in college, so this will be his first game back. So he might get a couple touches, but I don't think they're going to run him into the ground. I think they'll keep riding Chuba.
And Chuba's had explosive games as of late. Chuba's been playing very well, so I got to ride the hot hand and go with Chuba as well on this one. Kenneth, appreciate that follow, brother. Thank you. Yeah, let's dive right into the Sunday games. Unfortunately, I got to watch the first half of the games at work, and then it's my son's birthday. I'll be at work from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Because they're giving us Thanksgiving off. It's kind of a dangle the carrot in front of your face. Oh, if you want it off, you got to work Sunday.
Oh,
so
don't do that.
I'll be watching the games on the projector in the break room with my laptop set up. But yeah, we got Tampa Bay and the Giants. Obviously the big one, man. Let you take this game, the Giants and the Buccaneers. Go ahead and give us some insight on this.
Big news for Tampa Bay, man. Mike Evans is coming back, so Mike Evans will be playing in this game. Long way to return. Appears to be perfectly healthy after that hamstring injury. Very scary hamstring injury.
We watched that live. It looked nasty.
Yeah, it happened against us, man. Yeah, it was. I was scared. I thought that he might have torn his hamstring, but thank God it was just a bad pull.
Yep.
Yeah, and Tristan Wirfs is doubtful for them, so that could be an impact. Tyke Smith is out. Jamel Dean is questionable, and Zion McCollum is questionable. So everything.
Are the Giants getting Kayvon Thibodeau back? Do you know?
Kayvon Thibodeau is questionable. Yeah, he is questionable. Malik Neighbors is also questionable, but he said that he's going to play. It's a groin injury that he's dealt with off and on since college, so he said he can deal with it and he's going to play. But Kayvon is questionable.
That's just. I figure if Wirfs is out, that's usually where Kayvon lines up. So I mean that could be something to pay attention to.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it says Kayvon Thibodeau has been activated from injured reserve. At this point, the Giants are playing to evaluate the future of the franchise. So I think that he's going to play.
Okay.
Just reading between the lines there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But big news, man. Big news. It's wiping the freaking league off its feet, man. Daniel Jones has been released by the New York Giants, man, after a stellar career with the New York Giants. Abruptly gets cut, and I mean, it just leaves me begging the question: why? The guy's been
I do want to
greatness
add
personified.
I do want to add to that, and I read this, and it came from Schefter, that Daniel Jones, after being told he was being benched, he asked for his release.
He's gonna go to the Cowboys, dude.
I mean. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
They can have him, yeah. I mean,
or even, I mean, let me say this. Every week we talk about how Daniel Jones sucks. I think Daniel Jones sucks, but we have seen people. Sam Darnold, for instance, has had a resurgence in a high potent offense.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, I don't think are a high potent offense. Yes, they have CeeDee Lamb, but they have no running game, so they're not a high potent offense. But what if this man ended up like a Tua Tagovailoa backup
That's
and
what I was thinking.
walked
Yeah.
into that Miami Dolphins offense?
Yeah, if he goes to
Hey,
a team like Miami or even Cincinnati as a
yeah, because
backup to Burrow,
yeah,
'cause
Burrow, yeah,
yeah,
he might
that
have a
could be in the cards.
resurgence. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But go ahead with what you were saying on that game, other than the Daniel Jones, the big shocking Daniel Jones being benched and cut.
Well, I mean, me personally, I think Baker Mayfield is as happy as anyone right now, knowing that he's getting uh Mike Evans back. I mean, that's
Yes,
huge for him. So hopefully, um, Mike's healthy and good to go, and we start to see that connection that they've had over the last couple of years of Baker being there, because Baker's been playing really well, and I don't
he's
think
been
he can be really
outstanding.
understated. He's
Yeah,
been playing really well with very limited weapons around him. He's played really well.
Kate Otten, he's been eating.
Cade's been the main beneficiary, man. He really has. Cade Otton has played really well. He's always been a high potential guy. Played really well with Tom Brady, but had a down season a couple years ago, last year, and he's really doing well for himself. So it's nice to see Baker Mayfield doing well in this offense, and Mike Evans. That's going to be a huge boost.
Absolutely, couldn't agree anymore. Um, winner. Who do you think? Who you got? You got Tampa pulling this now. Do you think Tommy DeVito comes in and shocks everyone, lights it up?
I think Tampa Bay still wins this one. I think we're going to see a lot of Tyrone Tracy, um,
Yeah,
but with DeVito, you don't really know what you're going to get. But I think Tampa Bay gets this one.
I agree with you. I'm not touching this game. I don't like it. I might bet the over under, which is at 40.5 right now. That might be the only thing I touch. But yeah, I'm not sure on that yet. I'm gonna think on it as we go through the podcast. A couple more questions. We got Gavin. He said to pick two: Malik Neighbors, Jawan Jennings, Josh Downs, Lad McConkey, or Calvin Ridley. Jawan Jennings scares the piss out of me because Brock Purdy's hurt, not
Yep.
playing. Josh Downs is literally a light switch off and on. I'm Lad McConkey's in there 100%.
I go with McConkey and yeah, I would definitely go with Ladd. If Brock Purdy wasn't hurt, Jawan Jennings all day. Um,
Yes.
I might have to go with Downs. I mean, though Anthony Richardson's sporadic.
See, I'm thinking more on the
It was
Ridley
the first
side
one.
because Ridley's starting to get getting a lot more like looks and targets his way. I mean, he had another 6 targets last game against Minnesota. He had
Right.
9 the week before, 8 before that, 15 before that, 9. He's getting the targets. So I'm gonna have to go McConkey and Ridley.
I'm not gonna lie too, man. Levis, I mean, they lost, and he had a pick, was sacked 5 times. But he didn't play bad. I mean,
Yeah, Mean Boy didn't
I'll
play
give
bad.
credit where it's due. You know, he didn't play bad, and really, Calvin Ridley is one of the only options on that offense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lad and Ridley
yeah,
just
I could
because
go either way with Ridley or Downs,
Josh Downs worries me because like
but
last week
Ridley for sure.
he had a good game. 5 catches, 5 targets, 84 yards. Very solid
Hmm.
game. And a tud. Um it seems like they're incorporating him more. I mean, I think it could be a coin flip, honestly. Gavin. I think that you could go I mean, I could throw it up on the randomizer. You can go Ridley or Downs. Let me know if you want it on the randomizer. I'll throw it up there for you. Dakota, thank you for the follow, brother. Malvin, this is tough for me. Debo or Ridley?
Hmm.
You know they're
Debo
gonna
or Ridley?
do a lot of those like handoffs to Debo. I think trying to run screens, stuff like that. But man, that's scary.
It is. It is because hmm.
That Any day of the week, I'm picking Debo if Purdy's healthy.
I think I'm gonna pick Devo because Jair Alexander is not playing.
Yes, I did
Um,
see he's out. He could
so
open up.
I think I might go with Debo. I think Ridley's gonna see a lot of Derek Stingley.
Yeah, I can see that. I agree.
Mm. Yeah, I think I'm
I'm
gonna go with Debo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Debo with you. I'm on the Debo train with you. Just out of that option, I'm not pounding the table for Debo as long as if unless the matchups are like this all night with the question. That's the only way I'm pounding the table for Debo. Omar asked JSN or Scary Terry.
Okay, let me see who.
Seahawks got the Cardinals. Scary Terry got the Cowboys. The Cowboys give up so many yards, dude.
They are getting Deron Bland back, but Trevon Diggs is out. Just FYI. But Deron Bland just coming off that injury, so he may not be
And I'm gonna be
100%.
honest, Deron Bland, he is just like Diggs. They bite a lot. I'm taking Scary Terry. I talked myself into it. They want that big play, and they'll give up a big play.
Okay. Scary. Oh, this one's tough, dude, for me.
It
It
is.
it, it is, man, because both
Arizona's
players are
defense has
really
played
good.
very well. That's the thing that worries me.
I think I'm gonna go with Terry as well, because like Brandon said, the Cowboys' defense has been a leaky faucet for weeks now, so I'm gonna go with Terry as well. The
All
JSN
right.
has been balling.
Yeah, JSN's been going crazy. All right. That's all the questions for now. Any questions fantasy wise? Anything? Shoot a comment. We'll answer it. After if we're in the middle of covering a game, we'll answer it once we're done covering it. The next game, Detroit Lions, Indianapolis Colts, which is kind of shocking to me, to be honest with you. A lot of people thought it was crazy taking the Lions minus 13.5 last week, and the Detroit Lions absolutely decimated the Jacksonville Jaguars. 52-6. I mean, it was one of the easiest non-sweat free games betting wise. I mean, it was insane. The 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 absolute beatdown that they put on them. Lions are rolling. They had that mishap with the Houston Texans. Still won, and I don't think it changes this week, man. I know they're without Terrion Arnold with a groin, but I don't think it changes. If you can get this game at 7 points, I think the Detroit Lions win by at least by. I think the Detroit Lions win by 14, level 7. What's your thoughts with this game?
Yeah, the Colts got a big win against the Jets. I mean, the Jets are the Jets, but it was a close game. It came down on the wire, but they pulled it out, man. But I'm
I
telling
think
you,
it's a
dude,
lot closer than it looked though.
yeah. In Detroit, god dang, dude, Jared Goff went off last week. I mean, they took that loss to heart, dude. And they just
Yes, they
beat the
did.
balls off of Jacksonville.
I feel bad for Jacksonville.
I do too, man. But they
They
beat
caught
the
the
balls
wrath.
off of Jacksonville.
They
They did,
caught the
man.
wrath.
But yeah, like Brandon said, Terrion Arnold's out. Ennis Rakestraw is also out. So
Rush
two,
on IR.
is he on IR?
I believe they put him on IR.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
they did.
Oh, that's a shame, man. Rakestraw's he's been solid, getting better. Young, raw, but getting better. So yeah, two blows to the secondary, but man, yeah, I agree with Brandon. I think that I think Detroit just keeps on rolling.
Titans and Texans. Texans. Hmm. Texans are so they look like the team we expected them to look like last week again, but it's the Cowboys. Titans aren't much better, and the Texans are only favored by 8 points. Joe Mixon absolutely went bananas last week.
Yes, he
Nico
did.
Collins, good to see him back healthy. He looked good. Didn't seem like he missed a beat. Obviously, didn't have that big explosion game, but I think he looked pretty good. The Titans are the Titans. I mean, we say every week. We're in week 12. We've been doing it for 12 weeks talking about Titans. The team sucks. Will Levis is a meme. He hasn't had a meme in a couple weeks, so hats off to him. But for me, I mean, I don't really have a ton. I'd just like to see C.J. Stroud go back to where you were doing last year. Like these interceptions he's throwing, just like they look dumb. Like these interceptions are dumb. It's not like oh they ran a crazy disguised defense. I mean it is just him airmailing a pass. Like last week against the Cowboys, he threw this ball that if he hits Nico Collins in stride, it's a touchdown. And it's unfortunate that he's not playing like he did last year because he's fun as hell to watch. But I don't think there's any way the Texans this game's even close. I think the Texans beat the living hell out of the Titans. What's your thoughts with this game?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the the stats from their games last week.
Any key injuries in this game?
Key injuries in this game. Let's see. Why aren't they in alphabetical order, dude? That's all I asked for. You know what I mean? It's. I don't feel like I'm asking for much. L'Jarius
Cameron,
Sneed
we'll
is
get to your
out.
question. One second.
L'Jarius Sneed is out with a quadriceps injury, so that's a big blow.
Yeah, that is a big blow.
Tyjae Spears is out again. He has a concussion. So that is
He
a.
cannot catch a break.
No, he can't, man, and he's super freaking talented. But yeah, as for the Texans, man, they're pretty dang healthy. Blake Fisher's out with a concussion. But yeah, as by and large, Texans are healthy, man.
Yeah.
I'm with you. The C.J. Stroud thing kind of throws me through a loop too, man. He just some of these interceptions that he's had, like he's getting yards, he's getting the yards, but just not getting in the end zone, and he's been turning the ball over consistently all year. So I've been waiting for that vintage C.J. Stroud game for him to have that big breakout game.
300-400
Maybe with having
game.
Nico. Yeah, man, just get back, just get right again. But just having Nico back, maybe the Texans get some more traction. Another week removed from him coming off of IR, and maybe he's just going to keep getting healthier and get better. So maybe it's better days ahead for the Texans.
Right.
But I think the Texans win. I do. I think the Texans end up winning this game.
Cameron asked, pick two: Eckler, Dobbins, or Otton. The Dallas Cowboys suck, so I'm going Eckler, and the New York Giants suck, so I'm going Otton.
Same here. Yep, same here.
Hopefully that made your decision easy, Cameron, and hopefully you're leaning on that same thing. Patriots versus Dolphins. And they are in Miami. Miami's favored by a touchdown. This game, Miami seems like it just seems like they're going to get rolling, and then they don't. They put. I mean, they're on a 2-game win streak. Don't get me wrong. They beat the hell out of the Raiders last week, but like it wasn't like an offensive explosion. You're just waiting. You're just waiting in the balance. Like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And granted, Tua had 3 touchdowns last week, 288 yards, Achane 73 yards rushing. My big thing with this game, and I don't have much with this game. I think the Dolphins win, but how about Jonnu Smith the past like 3 weeks? This dude, Tua's loving Jonnu.
John's been playing his ass off, man.
I mean, Jonnu is he's averaging 7 targets a game over the last 5 games. He had 101 yards receiving last week with 2 touchdowns. I mean,
Yeah.
Jonnu's playing, and it seems to be helping the Lions better and not just keying in on Waddle and Hill. But at the same time, and I feel like we say it every week. I don't know how you don't get the ball to Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, but we're not going to beat a dead horse. Anything you want to touch on that game?
Well, I just wanted to say real quick that the Dolphins, Teron Armstead is questionable. Obviously, if he sits, that's a big blow to their offensive line.
Yeah.
And Isaiah Wynn is out for this game. So
I can't believe you're not making mention of Kendall Fuller being out, dude.
yeah, Kendall Fuller. I mean, honestly, yeah, that's another blow, man. Out with a concussion.
Kendall Fuller
So
sucks.
yeah, he ain't what he used to be. Yeah, he's not what he used to be. But yeah, like Brandon said with the Dolphins, man, it's like every week I sit there and I'm like, all right, this is gonna be the week. This is gonna be the week where this is gonna be the week where Tyreek goes nuts, and they're force feeding him the ball, and Jalen Waddle's getting open, and this whole offense just starts to click. 8 chains running wild, like I say it every week, and it just hasn't happened yet. But yeah, Jonnu Smith has been playing really well. Super talented. He played great for the Titans. Went to the Patriots, and they just didn't know how to use him. And went to the Falcons. They didn't know how to use him. And now he's having a resurgence with the Dolphins, which is nice to see. So yeah, hopefully the Dolphins kind of get back on track with this one, man. I mean, they won last week, so
Yep.
that's take that for what it is, right? But damn Patriots, man, what a mess of a team. I mean, Drake May's doing what he can, and he's playing well, and they're making do with what they got. But I mean, every week, the injury list is just humongous for this team.
Yeah, it just skies every single week.
And they're saying that I was reading a thing earlier that Christian Gonzalez is leaning more towards a doubtful than questionable. So
That's a massive blow to that defense.
yes, and I mean just injuries with this team. Yeah, I think I'm going with the Dolphins in this game, but Drake May, man, you can't count the dude out. I mean, he plays his ass off. He makes some great plays, and he makes some rookie mistakes. But by and large, man, he's played really well with what he has around him. But I think the Dolphins take this one.
I agree with you. Kurt asked, start Will Disley or Jalen McMillan. I'm assuming he's saying Jalen McMillan. That's the only person that I can think of. The Buccaneers wide receiver.
Oh, I would go with Disley.
I honestly got to go with Disley, and here's why. Herbert seems to love Disley, and they're using him more in the receiving game than just the blocking game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I got to go Disley, and McMillan is just an absolute coin flip to me.
Yes, he is. He's just not. He's not there yet.
All right. Ooh, okay. Amav asked, Neighbors or Evans?
That's actually tougher than
Yes.
just because Mike's come off the injury.
I'm gonna go Mike Evans. I trust
I'm going with
Baker
Big Mike.
Yeah, Mike Evans getting his get back. I'm going Big Mike as well. Hey, Mav, appreciate that follow, brother. Next game we get the Cowboys and Commanders. I mean, it's Cowboys Commanders. Commanders are coming off of back-to-back losses. Eagles and Steelers. They aren't losing against Cowboys. I'm sorry, they're not. I just don't see it. I don't know how it could happen. Zach Martin being the out is, I mean, the only bright spot of that offensive line, and now he's gone. I think Jaden Daniels gets right this game. You see an explosive game from Jaden, and I see Brian Robinson getting in the end zone twice this game. That's my one of my picks for this weekend. I think Brian Robinson gets in the end zone this game, and us giving you Scary Terry to start over JSN. I hope Scary Terry gets in the end zone twice this game. Yeah. Do you have anything on this game?
Not much, man. Honestly, the Jaden Daniels has been kind of up and down since he had that injury. It seems to be affecting him. He's not running like he was.
No.
He seems hesitant. Which is understandable. I mean, an injury like that, a rib injury. I mean, anytime you do anything, anytime you take a hit, anytime you breathe, any motion really, anytime you throw, it can be painful. So I don't think he's on any kind of an injury report, but I still think that may be affecting him. Obviously played against Philly, who has a very up and down team, but played well against Washington last week. And look at the box score. I mean, if you look at it, Cooper Rush had not a terrible game, but 5 sacks. So my big thing with the Cowboys right here, this man threw 55 passes. 55 passes. Now, I know, they're in comeback mode. You're not coming back, okay? I don't want to sound like a pessimist or a dick, but you're not.
It's over. It's done.
Just like Brandon said earlier, Cowboys just no running game. I mean, no running game at all.
It doesn't exist. Let me actually, you saying that, let me ask you this. And I don't mean to change your train of thought. Do you think this is the worst running game out of a team we have seen in the last decade?
Off the top of my head, it jumps out. I mean, even the Raiders this year don't have a run game either, but it's been better than the Cowboys.
Alexander Madison's been running better than Rico Dowdle, I can say that.
Yeah, Rico Dowdle hasn't. I think he's a good back to have like as a backup, but he is not. He's not a running back. He's not a starting running back, dude. He's just not.
A good word floating around loosely.
Here we go. Better idea. You get Daniel Jones, but just put him at running back.
No, you line him up in shotgun.
Wildcat.
You line him up in shotgun next to Cooper Rush. So you have 2 quarterbacks, but also a running back.
Yeah, so then whoever gets the snap, they got the option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The Cowboys are a mess right now. This is a lost year for Dallas. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Yeah, I don't think Dallas is winning this game. No.
That's actually going to be. No, I lied. I'm not touching it. Just kidding. Pump fake. Peyton Manning pump fake on that. Maxwell asked, should he trade Kyren Williams and D-Hop for George Pickens and James Conner? I'm going to be honest. I would make that trade. George Pickens is, and it's not because I'm a Steeler fan. If you look at statistically across the board, George Pickens has been averaging at least 50 yards a game and roughly 6 to 7 catches on, like, I don't know, 10 targets. So, yes, Kyren Williams is a touchdown magnet, which he hasn't been as of late. But I think you're obviously going to get points from James Conner. He also gets in the end zone, and he's been running the ball well. But it just seems now that Cooper and Puka are back out there, they're kind of getting away from Kyren Williams a little bit more. They're not leaning on him as much. So I would make that trade. And Hopkins, he had that big game with Kansas City, and he really hasn't done much at all with Kansas City since. So if you asked me when Hopkins got traded to make this trade, I would say absolutely not. But right now, I would say yeah. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, that one's It's a little tough, but I think I'm with Brandon on this one. I think that I would make that trade. Simply because just the volume that George Pickens has been targeted with the ball, and also the amount of touches that James Conner's been getting, not only in the running game, but I mean he's been getting targeted a lot in the passing game as well. So, and he always has a nose for the end zone. He's definitely the power back that they're going to run to. They're going to go to, on the goal line. So, I think I would take that trade as well. But just err on the side of caution that Trey Benson has started to get a little bit of run with the Cardinals at running back. So I don't know if it's anything to be concerned about right now, but just keep that in the back of your mind. But I think I would take that trade.
Absolutely, Maxwell. We appreciate the question, man. And I just want to add on to that. His first game with Kansas City, he had 3 targets, 2 catches, 29 yards. His second game, appreciate that follow, Maxwell. Thanks, man. His second game is the game where he went off. He had 9 targets, 8 catches, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns. The very next game against Denver, which they almost lost, 4 catches, 56 yards, no touchdown. And then last week against Buffalo, 3 catches, 0 touchdown. So I gotta ride with Pickens over Hawkins, and I think it's a lateral move almost with Kyron and James Conner. Luke Riggs asked, Puka or Scary Terry? I am taking Puka Nacua because Matt Stafford don't give a damn. He's treating him like he's Calvin Johnson, and he's getting like 14 targets a game. I'm taking Puka.
I'm going with Puka as well.
Okay, Maxwell also added he has A-Chain, Jonathan Taylor, Rashard White, and Gibbs. Yeah, bro, make that trade all day. Absolutely. If those are your other backs, make that trade.
God dang.
Alonzo asked, start Kelsey or Bowers this week? I'm going Travis Kelsey. The Denver Broncos defense has been absolutely out of their mind and playing so well. Brock Bowers is going to get force-fed the ball because that's all they have, but Travis Kelsey has the favorable matchup.
Trying to see. Okay, Brock Bowers is going against Denver. Oh yeah, I'm going with Travis Kelsey. Yeah, they're playing Carolina. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going with Travis.
What we got? Max, thanks for the follow. Luke, thanks for the follow. Cool guy, appreciate the follow. Start DJ Moore or Jawan Jennings? Damn, bro. Damn, bro. You had to ask
Yeah,
that.
that's a curveball.
Damn. Every day of the week I'm saying Jawan Jennings, but not tomorrow because Brock Purdy ain't playing. Damn.
Chicago's got Minnesota.
Kyle Williams sucks. Or Caleb Williams sucks, dude.
Yeah,
Bro,
he does.
Against the Packers, let me see what Rome Duzio is the leading receiver. DJ Moore had 7 for 62. Okay.
If Purdy's playing, I mean,
It's
it's
a
not even a
no-brainer.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Purdy's playing, because we don't know what we're getting out of Brandon Allen. You know?
It's a Shanahan offense though. I'm going
Yeah, he's
Jawan
just plug and
Jennings.
play.
I'm going Jawan Jennings, dude. I'm going Jawan Jennings. Because I have beat the table for years that Shanahan gets quarterbacks paid. Shanahan gets the absolute Alex Smith plug right, just game manager. I'm gonna hurt a lot of feelings. Brock Purdy, game manager. You put any quarterback in that system that has been sitting there learning the plays in practice, they can walk in there and they can succeed and put up crazy numbers, and he gets quarterbacks paid. I'm going Juwan.
I think I'm going to go Juwan too. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Juwan too, just because Caleb Williams hasn't showed me shit. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Juwan as well. A lot of big injuries for San Francisco too, which we'll touch on here in a minute. But
Right. This dude's name, I don't know what your name is. Looks like a bunch of letters. He asked McBride, Disley, or Goddard.
dang, those three good ass tight ends, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. I, mm, I'm gonna have to go with Trey. Seattle gives up a lot to tight ends.
I agree, and they've had kind of a revolving door at inside linebacker. So I think I would go with Trey as well.
And Trey's a leading receiver right now, which is unbelievable when you have Marvin Harrison Jr. But don't even get me started. Uh, Alonzo asked Ramondre or Tracy Jr. It's gonna fall right back to our coverage on that first game we covered. I'm taking Tracy Jr. They're gonna lean on him heavy, and Tracy's been playing outstanding.
Yes, he has. I'm with Brandon on that one. I am pounding the table for Tyrone Tracy this week.
All right, I think that's the end of the questions so far. Um, Alonzo, appreciate the follow, man. Right into the next game. Vikings Bears. Bro, we have one more 1 o'clock game, and I'm just gonna come out and say these 1 o'clock games suck.
Yeah, they do.
Damn, these games suck. These games are actual ass.
Yeah, they're pretty bad, dude. They really are.
Like I don't have much to say on this game either. Sam Darnold bounced back last week. He looked a lot better. Seemed like him and Justin Jefferson got on the same page. Or back on the same page, I should say. No turnovers. That's a big one. Surprisingly, that running game still isn't great for Minnesota. Aaron Jones, 39 yards rushing on 15 carries. There's no way the Vikings lose this, right?
I wouldn't think so.
I don't see. This is one of the bets I'm taking. Any key injuries for the Vikings?
Trying to get at the freaking load. I added up and it kicked me back to the damn top. And then, like I said
Cool
earlier,
guy
it's
and
not
Hershey.
alphabetical order.
We'll answer your questions in 1 second. Let's finish up this cover. It won't be long because this game, I don't have much to say on it. So I don't think Steven has much to say on it either.
Yeah, they don't have any injuries, any major injuries.
Yeah, I mean, Vikings minus 3.5. That's the bet I'm going with. Anything you want to say other than your boy, your number one overall pick, you were pounding the table for Caleb Williams, sucks?
Yeah. Definitely pound the table for him to get number one overall. We all knew he was going to, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
we did.
It was like I would take Jaden Daniels, but they're gonna take Caleb Williams. But yeah, the Bears just Caleb hasn't showed me shit. Vikings are getting back on track, so I think the Vikings go over in this game. I don't really have anything on this one either, to be honest with you.
It's
I
a
know
growing
Swift
theme.
was dealing with an injury.
Growing theme with this 1 o'clock games. Holy shit.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, he has a groin injury. He's questionable. Keenan Allen has an ankle injury. He's questionable. Not that Keenan Allen gets the ball, so don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Cool guy asked. This is tough, dude. And cool guy amazing asked. Start Stevenson or DJ Moore at the flex, bro. I'm sorry. Actually, cool guy. Is it PPR if it's PPR, it might change my decision to go DJ Moore. If it's not a PPR league, I gotta go Stevenson, bro.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Stevenson, dude. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Stevenson.
If it's PPR, he's gonna get 5 points from catches, so might give him the nod over Stevenson.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
If it's a full point PPR, let me say that too. Hershey, thank you for all the likes, brother. Greatly appreciated. And he also asked Mike Evans or J.K. Dobbins. Pound on the table, baby. Mike Evans.
Big Mike.
We're going to bat with Mike Evans. Please don't rip that hamstring off your leg.
Dude, J.K. better not have a big game against us. I'll be more mad than any of you fantasy owners. I'll tell you that right now.
Nah, I got the breakdown for the Ravens, bro. I got the breakdown. Yeah. Anything else on the Bears Vikings?
No. No, rivalry game could go either way.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but I don't think the Vikings lose.
I don't either.
All right. Cool guy. It is PPR. That Dolphins defense hasn't been great up front. Calais Campbell's been a one-man wrecking crew. Let me just say that. Kudos to him. But, man, is Ramondre splitting carries at all or no? Do you know off the top of your head?
Gibson will come in every now and again, but
he is the focal.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
I'm gonna lean on Ramondre. Dolphins seem to give up some points. Ramondre might see the end zone, and DJ Moore's damn sure ain't seen it. Yeah, I'm going Ramondre. I'm gonna go with Steven on this. Next 1 o'clock game, barn burner here, boys. Kansas City Chiefs, Carolina Panthers. The big one, Kansas City Chiefs got their loss last week. We said on the podcast that this is the game that they're going to lose. Buffalo is going to come in, or they're going to go to Buffalo, and Buffalo's going to get this win. And it happened. Josh Allen looked dominant, used his legs. What a ballsy call on 4th down to go for it and him get that 20-something yard rushing touchdown.
Right.
I mean, that dude carried his nuts out of the stadium in a wheelbarrow. I mean,
he did.
You're in a game where Patrick Mahomes is on the other side of the field, and if you do not get that first down, you're probably looking at Kansas City Chiefs winning. And Josh Allen said, "Nah, this shit ain't happening again." But once again, their defense showed up, forced turnovers. Patrick Mahomes didn't look great, and they got the loss. But we got Carolina bounce back week for Kansas City. I'm actually betting this game. It's 10.5. I'm gonna take the half point, get it at 10. Kansas City Chiefs -10. I think this is a game where the Kansas City Chiefs absolutely dominate the Carolina Panthers. I hate to say it. I wish that the Carolina Panthers shocked the world and beat up on the Chiefs, but I just don't see it happening. Another game where there's not much to say about it. Carolina, off back-to-back wins. I will say that. Carolina's rolling. Look out. We're getting ahead of Steve. Our boy Bryce.
Yeah, it's been a fun wild ride the last couple of weeks for the Carolina Panthers, but I think it comes to a screeching halt against the Chiefs. I mean, they just don't have the weapons to go against the Chiefs defense, and they don't have the defense to go against the Chiefs offense, which has been lackluster, to be honest, all things considered. It's been lackluster, let's just call it like it is. But man, Carolina's just the team's just bad. It's just a bad team. I mean, you can't point your finger and place it on one thing, you know?
You know what I will say, though? I will say that if Carolina's going to have a shot, okay? If Carolina is going to have a shot, the Carolina Panthers, if Chuba Hubbard can run like he did against the Giants, Carolina can control the clock, keep it down, keep it low, Carolina has a shot to stay in the game, within reach. I don't think that they win, but they have a shot if that running game is eating.
I agree. I feel like this is going to sound messed up, and you guys can trash me in the comment section. um, I seriously feel like I'm not threatened by Patrick Mahomes this year. Like Patrick Mahomes,
No.
he
Oh, no.
doesn't, he hasn't scared me this year. Like there's nothing that he's done that I've kind of been like, oh God, like. But it's other circumstances that become a factor whenever you play against the Chiefs, and they just offensively do not scare me. Defense is playing well. They've kind of they got their asses beat by Buffalo, but man, Mahomes just he hasn't been that, and Kelsey either.
Right.
They just haven't scared me. So it's a possibility if Kansas City keeps it a low scoring game and for whatever reason their offense can't move the damn ball against the Carolina Panthers defense. There's a chance, like
Could be
there is
within
a
reach.
chance. It could be. Yeah, it could be.
Couldn't agree with you anymore, but I am taking the Chiefs minus 10.
I'm taking the Chiefs. I'll take the Chiefs to win.
Noob Master, Robbie, is that you? I don't know if you're speaking to me, if you're speaking to Steven. Neither Robbie, so. Um, Broncos Raiders. But I tell you what, this Denver Broncos team, Sean Payton's getting them right, dude. I mean, they got absolutely stomped on by the by the Ravens. They barely lost to the Chiefs and then beat the living hell out of the team that is banned for life, and that's the Carolina or the Falcons. I think they bounce back. They get another win here. Bo Nix is doing it, the damn thing with his legs. Um, I think he's starting to understand and pick up the NFL side of it now, which is huge. Obviously, it's big for any rookie quarterback. And it just seems like every week, other than the Baltimore week, it seems like it has grown more and more in their favor, in his favor specifically, that he's just getting better every week. And I'm a believer, man. I like what Sean Payton's doing. No one expected the Denver Broncos to be where they're at, and I mean, hell, they're sitting at 6-5 with the Chargers right in front of them at 7-3. They get another win. I mean, look out, bro. Denver could go on a run. Um, Javonte Williams is running the ball very well. Defense is playing great. I like it, man. I like what Denver's doing. I'm not a Denver fan, but I like watching them. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And as Bo gets more comfortable, and you can kind of see it as the weeks go on, he's getting more comfortable with doing what he did in college, and that's scrambling, using his legs and his athletic ability to extend plays or pick up a key first down or we've seen big runs out of him from time to time. So the game's starting to slow down for him, which is good. Javonte's been he's been efficient. I'd like to see him keep chugging along and get back to where he was a couple years ago coming out of North Carolina. Um, but yeah, right now, dude, the Denver Broncos are they're looking really good. They're looking rock solid. And like you said, they've really surprised a lot of people this year, myself included. And then then there's the Raiders. Um,
Banged up to all hell.
I mean, son, like two corners are out. Both running backs are out that we were just talking about them having zero running game. So Amir Abdullah is going to be getting his balls ran off.
Yeah, who?
Um, exactly. So Amir Abdullah is going to be getting his balls run off. um, yeah, just a banged up team that is not very good to begin with. Doesn't have really much in terms of depth either. So the Raiders they're a full rebuild team. Um, if I'm a Raiders fan, I wouldn't really obviously probably didn't come to the season with high expectations, but at this point, you guys are in a full rebuild, man. Just let Antonio Pierce do his thing. He seems like a good coach. He was a great player. has control of the locker room, man. So don't get too low with the lows, man. They're in a rebuild. So yeah, the Broncos going to beat the balls off the Raiders.
And I do want to make mention the first time they played the Raiders, they beat the living hell out of them 34-18. So there's that.
There you
go. User said pick 2. Cortland Sutton, Bucky Irving, Ladd McConkey. As much as I want to pick Bucky or Ladd, I gotta go Bucky because I think this is a big game for Bucky, and I think Sutton has a big game against one we just talked about, the Raiders.
Damn, those are all actually pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good options, man.
Especially the way Herbert's been throwing the ball to McConkey. I just think Bucky's going to have a big game this game, especially against the Giants matchup. I think that the matchups for Sutton and Bucky are more favorable is for McConkey.
I agree with that. Yeah, because the defense seemed to do well against Pittsburgh's offense last week. So
barring penalties.
Well, naturally, yeah, that's kind of our thing, you know.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's too, bro. Don't worry.
I'm gonna go with Bucky too, just because Baltimore seemed to have a little bit of life in them last.
You're going with Bucky just because you don't want McConkey to go off against the Ravens.
Well, no, I mean I did pick Disley, and I think I picked McConkey earlier.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so there's still a chance that he may get in the end zone or something of that nature, but hopefully he doesn't go off against us. But yeah, Bucky against the Giants. Yeah. It's if Bucky was playing against anybody other than the Giants and maybe like the Jaguars, I would probably go with McConkey, but he's going against the Giants. I'll go with Bucky.
All right, moving on to the 425 game. Cardinals versus Seahawks. I think it's going to be a good game, man. I'm excited. This is a game I'm going to be watching at 4 o'clock.
Me too.
I think this is I'll be honest. There's not much to watch on 4 o'clock or 1 o'clock. But I'm a football fan, and I will watch the stuff I bet on. So, Cardinals, Seahawks. DK came back last week. Geno Smith put the team on his back and said, you know what? I'm ending this shit. Geno had a great game last week against the 49ers. He did have the interception. He didn't have the passing touchdown, but my man had a rushing touchdown that won them the game. That was a great game. Honestly, it was.
Geno, the freaking hero, dude. That was crazy.
Yeah, that last drive was crazy. I don't have a pick this game. Who do you think Squeak is? No, I lied. I keep thinking Brock Purdy's playing. Seattle, I think, wins this game handily. I know I said that it's a plug and play system for any quarterback going in, but I think that I think this could be one of them games where it's like Seattle gets a couple point lead early, and so it forces the 49ers to throw the ball, and that defense can force turnovers, and I think that's how this game goes. What's that?
49ers playing the Packers?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know what I was reading. I'm a dumbass. I was reading the stats from last week's game.
Gotcha.
That's my fault. Reverse pump fake again. Peyton Manning pump fake. I think the Cardinals. With the Cardinals, the last couple weeks, last 4 weeks, honestly, since that horrible game against the Chargers, and it kind of goes the same for the Chargers. Since that horrible game with the Chargers that was on Monday night, ESPN Plus special, you had to buy it if you didn't have it already. It seems like the Chargers and the Cardinals have figured it out. Like, they're like, okay, that was the most piss poor performance we've had. Let's figure this shit out. And the Cardinals have been rolling. Kyler's been playing well. Absolute pure domination against the Jets. But it is the Jets. The Seahawks are favored in this. I don't know if it's because of home field advantage. And the Seahawks haven't looked great until Geno put the team on his back last week. But I don't know, man. I still don't know if I trust the Cardinals. I don't know if I trust the Seahawks.
That's where
I
I'm
don't.
at with it too. I'm sitting here racking my brain.
I really don't have a pick for this. I don't. It's a divisional game. You're talking about if Seattle wins, it puts them right there tied at 6-5 with Arizona, and then the Rams play the night game, and if they win against the Eagles, they're 6-5. You have a three-way tie. I mean, I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think it's going to be an absolute dogfight. Theo and Makai, we'll get to your question. Give us 1 second, bro. I don't know. I'm not touching this game. I don't like it at all. Where are you leaning in this game?
Dude, honestly, like while you were talking, man, I'm sitting there like going back and forth with it too, man. This game could go either way. These two teams are so damn hot and cold, and it all goes back to their quarterback, man. And every week we have the same conversation about these two quarterbacks, man. It's like, what are you getting with Geno? What are you getting with Kyler? Every week. And then, they blow up or they lay an egg, and
Yes.
it's just such a hard game to project because these two teams are so similar.
Hot and cold, like you said. That was a perfect analogy.
Yeah, they are, man. I mean, in a
And the
perfect
Cardinals have
world,
been
I
on
would
a
say
heater.
Seattle, but the Cardinals have been absolutely playing their asses off. This game can
And you
go either
see,
way for me, dude. I'm looking
yeah,
forward to this game.
I am too. I'm honestly looking forward to this game. And it seems like every week that we're looking forward to a game, it's absolutely abysmal. So I'm hoping that it's not the case.
Yeah, the freaking Lions and the Texans. Turnover, pick.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I don't have a pick for this game at all. I don't. You have any pick for this game?
No, I don't. I mean, both these teams are relatively healthy too, so it's just
I could see either team winning, and if Seattle wins, it puts that three-way race in play with the Rams on Sunday night. Theo asked, he used his number one priority on Laporta. I'm assuming it's a keeper league. I don't know if I would. Laporta's been kind of shaded out, bro. And I love Laporta. But the offense has been clicking down the field without him, and it's terrifying. Especially if they start incorporating him.
yeah, and I don't understand why that offense has been so high powered and he just hasn't got a piece of the action, man.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause I think he was like the lonely bastard last week.
Yeah.
Trying to. Did he not have a catch last week?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see him on
That's
the
his
stats.
waiver wire. So what it is, it's a waiver wire priority. And
Yeah,
you can use it. So, bro,
it's so hard to say no because it's Sam Laporta, but yeah,
right.
for some reason he just hasn't touched the ball this year.
I mean, for weeks.
Yeah,
For weeks. Let me look at his stats real quick. Laporta, the last 5 games, 1 catch, 1 yard, 1 catch, I'm sorry, 1 catch, 52 yards, 1 catch, 25 yards, 6 catches, 48 yards, 2 catches, 28 yards, 3 catches, 66 yards. I guess it all depends on what your roster looks like. I mean, if you're looking for a potential high volume tight end, then yes, if you need him. If not, if there's another option, I would go another option.
yeah, tight ends for whatever reason are just so hit or miss in fantasy nowadays.
Yeah. That's tough for me. Like I said, I'm sticking with. If you need a tight end, I would go Laporta, but if you don't, I wouldn't waste it on that.
I agree with that.
Makai asked DJ Moore or Quentin Johnson. Damn, bro.
Quentin Johnson has caught a touchdown like every freaking year since he's been healthy.
I gotta go Quentin Johnson.
Me too. Caleb Williams, the Bears. I think I'm gonna go with Quentin Johnson. That is 3 freaking Chargers receivers, by the way, that I've picked for this damn game. I'm gonna be mad as hell if all 3. Like, I'll be happy for you guys.
Well, it's about to get worse for you.
Oh, here we go.
Nate Hoffman asked, and bro, this is a very, very hard one, but I'm already leaning on the one just because of the matchup. Baker or Herbert? I gotta lean on Baker just because of the matchup situation. But Herbert's legs and the ability to throw scared me with Baltimore. If their defense reverts back to the way they were before they played Pittsburgh, dude, Herbert's gonna go crazy. But I gotta lean on Baker just because Mike Evans is back. They're playing the dog shit Giants. And Baker ain't scared to throw that damn thing.
Oh man, you're right, dude. Like, I feel like if everybody's got Charger players, dude, like, I feel like I'm just like speaking it into existence. You know what I mean? Like, all right, gotta be professional about this. Oh man, I'm going with Justin Herbert.
All right. You have one, Nate. You have one on each side. If you want me to run the randomizer, I can run the randomizer because we are split down the middle. And you can go off the randomizer, you can go off your own perspective, but we are split right down the middle. Young Nunu, Quentin Johnson or Tank Dell the rest of the season.
Oh, I'd almost go Quentin Johnston.
I think Dell's been popping off, dude. Even with Nico coming back, Tank Dell's been popping off, bro. Not last week. He didn't pop off last week. I mean, he had 4 catches, 54 yards. Quentin Johnson sees the end zone a lot, though. I got to go Quentin. Yeah, I got to agree.
That's tough, too, though, man. Like, I love Tank Dell.
Yeah. Nate also put in there. So, Nate, we get to pick 3 of these people. Mike Evans, Kenneth Walker, Tyrone Tracy, Brian Robinson Jr. I'm beating the table for Mike Evans, so that's pick 1. The Cowboys suck, so that's Brian Robinson. So it leaves us with Kenneth Walker and Tyrone Tracy. Bro.
Son of a bitch.
I don't know if you're on the Brian Robinson and Mike Evans pick, but that's where I'm at with my 2.
No, I do like those 2. I'm just trying to think of who I want, if I want K9 or if I want freaking Tyrone Tracy.
Carolina's not giving up a ton of rushing yards. I mean, Arizona, not Carolina. Arizona's not giving up a ton of rushing yards. Daniel Jones got benched. DeVito's going in. Tyrone Tracy. I'm going Mike, Tyrone, and Brian.
Damn. This one's really tough, dude, just because both players, man, my God, dude. Like, Tyrone's got the matchup, but then Kenneth Walker, I mean, that's K9, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Holy shit.
I think the Buccaneers rush
I think
defense is worse.
I'm gonna go with Tyrone.
Okay, so we're on the same page.
I'm gonna go with Tyrone Tracy.
Hey, our boy's back. D Wade's broke knees. What's good, man? Our boy.
Where's Logan at?
Yeah, where's Logan at? He must be working.
Must be.
Broke knees. uh, asked keep Garrett Wilson and with A-Rod possibly being benched, or trade Garrett and jump off the ship. So it all depends on what the trade can be and what you can get out of Garrett Wilson. But I would ride the Garrett Wilson train until it dies, until it physically dies, because Garrett Wilson is just he's benefited from more than anyone out of Davante Adams showing up than anyone. It all depends on if you can sell high, I would trade him. But if you're gonna get like a lateral move, I mean, I don't think it's worth it. What's your thoughts, Steven?
I agree with that. Yeah, it just depends on what you're going to get with him. Whenever A-Rod is playing, he's a bit of a target hog. So yeah, it'd be hard to part with him. I'd see what you can get for him.
Jordan McClain said traded Kareem Hunt for Nick Chubb. Is it a good trade? Honestly, I don't think that's a terrible trade. Pacheco's coming back. Nick Chubb's been playing. I mean, he's been kind of limited. They haven't really been pounding his life away. But with Pacheco coming back, I think you're going to get more usage and more touchdowns out of Nick Chubb than you will Kareem Hunt.
That was pretty much where I was going to go with it. Yeah, with Pacheco coming back, I could see Hunt getting kind of phased out, and obviously Chubb. I mean, it's Nick Chubb, man. He's been getting the bulk of the carries. I think that if that knee cooperates and he starts to get back in a rhythm, I think he's going to be more. You'll be more better off with him than you would with Kareem Hunt.
We have another tough one. Robbie asked, Cup or Scary Terry?
Player. Okay.
Cooper Cup and Puka went nuts last week.
Yeah, they did.
Wait, I can't wait to ask Steven this question. I can't wait. I can't wait. Roby, Cup or Terry? Rams, Eagles defense seems like it's been rolling. Honestly,
I think I'm gonna go with Terry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Terry. The Eagles seem like a complete team finally. I'm gonna go Scary Terry.
The Cowboys are just a hot mess, so.
Tyson, I just want to say thank you, brother, for asking an easy fantasy question. And it doesn't involve, it does involve a Chargers player. But I think Steven's going to be on the same page as me because we did touch base on this other player earlier. And I think it's a no-brainer of who to go with. Will Dissly or Jonnu Smith? I'm going Jonnu because Tua seemed to find love for Jonnu all of a sudden.
Yep, I agree with that. I would roll with Jonnu, man. He has been hot lately, so I'd ride the hot hand, man, and I'd run Jonnu.
All right, D Wade. Here's the question. This dude, bro, you should be getting paid for the names that you come up with. D Wade broke knees. Said one last question. He needs a new name for the playoffs. We get to pick it. Name number 1 is Show Me Your TDs. And number 2 is Touch Your End Zone.
I like Show Me Your TDs.
That's what I was leaning on too.
Show me your end zone.
Touch your end zone.
Touch your end zone. Touch your end zone. I like Show Me Your TDs.
Yeah, I got broke knees. I got to go TDs. And the only reason why I said that is because it rhymes.
Shit, if I ever do fantasy again, I might steal that name, bro. Show Me Your TDs, dude. That's funny as shit.
That's good shit. You should be getting paid for these names you come up with, bro. Oh, shit. We appreciate you coming back in, bro. We really do. We didn't have a pick for Arizona, Seattle. Actually, hang on. We just got a question. Rachaad White or Dobbins for the playoffs? Let me look at the remaining schedule for both teams.
Oh, playoffs.
Yeah, dude, we're in week 12. We got 6 weeks of football left, like regular season. That is so hard to believe.
And then it's once you get through the Super Bowl, like life just is meaningless for the next 2 months, because the weather still
There's
sucks.
nothing. There's
There's just
nothing.
nothing, dude. Yeah, life just ends for 2 months.
All right, so JK's got the Falcons, the Chiefs, or the Ravens, Falcons, Chiefs, Buccaneers, Broncos, Patriots, Raiders. So I see favorable game against the Raiders, Patriots, Broncos, Falcons. No, I'm going to take the Broncos out of there. Raiders, Patriots, Buccaneers, Falcons. So I see 4 favorable games in his favor. Ravens don't give up a lot on the ground. Broncos don't give up a lot on the ground. And the Chiefs don't give up a lot on the ground. So those could be complete washes for J.K. Dobbins, and it could be a Justin Herbert show. And Buccaneers. Woo! Bro, Bucky Irving and Rashad, they split carries so much though.
That's what I was thinking about JK. They've been starting to get Gus involved too.
I know.
I'm like,
This
shit.
is tough, Tanner. Looking at the Buccaneers schedule, I would lean on White just for the fact that he's got the Giants, the Panthers, the Raiders, the Chargers, the Cowboys, the Panthers, and the Saints.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I think I would go with Rashad White as well.
Their tail end is very favorable.
No shit. Yeah. Holy crap, dude.
Very favorable. And honestly, what's even crazier is that the Buccaneers go on a run and just say they win out.
I was just about to say that.
Honestly, the only game that I see that could be a problem is the Chargers for them.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Buccaneers potentially squeaking back into the playoffs again, dude.
I hope they do, bro. That'd be awesome.
I mean, they're 4-6, and Atlanta's 6-5, and Atlanta's on a bye week this week. Buccaneers could sneak back in that division, dude. NFC South sucks.
Yep.
I mean, to be completely honest with it, number-wise, percentage-wise, Carolina Panthers ain't eliminated from winning the division.
Let's go, Bryce.
Yeah, I got to lean on White just with that favorable remaining schedule.
Yeah, me too. No, that's the rest of the schedule. I think I'm going with White as well.
Oh, God. Christian asked, Jacoby Myers or DeAndre Hopkins?
I'm going to go with D-Hop.
I'm going to lean on D-Hop as well. The Patriots offense is just not it. It's just not. I'm sorry, Patriots offense. Bro. Jacoby for the Raiders. I had high hopes this year. I'm not even going to lie. I actually took him in a bet, like a season-long bet. But, bro, he's had one 100-yard game. Like, D-Hop's more consistent with a better quarterback.
And they're playing the Panthers.
And they're playing the Panthers. You're right. And the Raiders have a tough matchup against Broncos. Yeah, D-Hop.
PS2 is going to be on Myers' ass, bro.
PS2 might have 2 pick sixes.
I hope he does. That'd be awesome.
I swear we know what we're talking about. I'm just fumbling teams right now. We drove to. Well, I can't even think where we went. We drove for my daughter's cheer competition up to Ohio, in Columbus. So
Columbus.
And then we drove back today. So it's a long track. 425 game. The other one. 49ers, Green Bay Packers. The 49ers are going to have to score touchdowns on defense to win this game. That's where I'm at with it. Jordan Love is prone to throwing interceptions. And that could keep the 49ers in this game. But I just don't see the Packers losing this game. I don't see it. Bosa out. Oh, Christian just asked a very good question. He said, do you think it's a better idea to start the Broncos defense over the 49ers defense? Ooh. Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, I would start. Yep.
But in the same sense, the 49ers defense is going to be flying around. They always do. But they are without Nick Bosa and Ward. Well,
Yeah, they're not Travarius Ward either.
Yeah, I'm going Broncos defense over 49ers defense. Obviously, you mentioned it earlier. Jair out for this game. But I don't think that it's going to matter. I think the Packers win this game. It's in Lambeau. They need this win to keep pace with the Vikings. I mean, that division's so tight between the three teams. Detroit with 1 loss, Minnesota with 2 losses, Green Bay with 3. So, still a very tight race. For me, I think that Jordan Love's probably going to throw an interception like he's done all year long, every game, it seems like. But I just don't. The 49ers are the injuries are catching up to them. They haven't had a great year. And sorry, 49er fans, but just ain't it, man. Just ain't it. What's your thoughts on this game? You know what the sad part is before you dive into that? You do realize the San Francisco 49ers are still in the race for that NFC West.
Oh, I imagine, yeah.
Literally, Arizona sitting 64. Rams 5-5. Seattle 5-5. San Francisco 5-5.
Honestly, it's a solid division. It's just injuries have really crippled that division. I mean, with the exception of the Cardinals, they've been, pretty healthy. But those other 3 teams, man.
Cold.
Yeah, there's just Kyler Murray just being Kyler Murray doing Kyler Murray shit. Yeah, they're just that whole division, man. It's really been a story of injuries because those teams are. It's a pretty solid division.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 49ers, man, just kind of ravaged by injuries, just bad timing injuries too. Obviously with CMC, within the last few weeks, he was hurt, and now not having Brock Purdy and Ward, and I mean they've had Tufongo hasn't been playing, so Hufongo, sorry. Yeah, I think Green Bay wins this game. Jordan Love, like you mentioned, he's kind of him and CJ Stroud kind of remind me of each other. They both are kind of having that same kind of a year. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like they're just kind of like they're good. There's no question that they're both good, but the turnovers and some of the errant throws that just make you scratch your head. They have very similar rosters, very similar just pieces around them, and they just, for whatever reason, they're winning games. So that's at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But when you start talking playoffs, them turnovers, man, that'll make or break you. But primarily with Brock Purdy not playing, we're going to see a lot of Christian McCaffrey. Goes without saying. Going to see a lot of Christian McCaffrey, but Green Bay should win this game.
I agree 100%. TikToker asks, Flex Eckler or Quentin Johnson? Eckler has a favorable matchup against the Cowboys. I got to go with Eckler.
Yeah, I'll go with Eckler as well. Eckler, he tears up the Cowboys.
Wesley Moran said start two. Juwan Jennings, Watson, Dale, or Disley.
Watson had a
Bro,
big week last week.
I was actually gonna say, I'm gonna go Watson or I'm sorry, it's Waddle, not Wandell. Uh, I'm gonna go Watson and Waddle.
What are the names again? Watson, Waddle.
Disley or Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Watson and Waddle as well, just because I don't know what Jennings is gonna do. I'm not really comfortable with him without Purdy being in there, just because
Right.
Purdy's been peppering him, and then Disley just could go either way, to be honest.
They could use him more as a blocking tight end if they're running the ball well.
Yeah, and I mean it's kind of and him being a tight end, it just makes it a little
Especially at the
convoluted.
flex. I don't like tight ends in the flex, honestly, unless it's your only option.
Me neither. Yeah, receiver, running back all day, but tight end, yeah, no. Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Christian said, all right, he got one more question. Jaden Daniels or Kyler Murray? I got to go Jaden Daniels against that Cowboys abysmal defense.
I'm with Brandon on this one, dude. I got to go with Jaden Daniels as well. I think that Jaden Daniels had a rough past few weeks, and the Cowboys are just kind of floundering right now. And it's a division game, and I think Jaden Daniels, I think he gets right to this game because the Cowboys are they're a mess defensively, offensively. They're just a mess all the way around. So yeah, I think I would roll with Jaden Daniels.
All right. Um, Closing out Sunday, 8:20. Philadelphia Eagles, Rams. These are the games where the Rams always show up. Somehow, some way, they always show up for these games. Um, but I think that the Eagles look like a complete team. They have really looked like a complete team as of late. They beat the Commanders. They obviously stomped the Cowboys. Jacksonville, they almost lost. Beat the hell out of the Bengals. I mean, they're on a run. And I remember that game after what was that, week 4 when they lost against the Buccaneers, and we were like, man, I don't know this Eagles team. And then out of nowhere, they want to run, man, and they're feasting. I think that the Rams put up a tough fight, but I think the Eagles win this game, especially with the way Jalen Hurts has been playing. Um, and it seems like the Rams are always have been in close games every week. So for me, I think I think Jalen Hurts has another great game. Hopefully they don't keep snubbing Saquon. Saquon would have like 15 touchdowns this year if Jalen Hurts didn't get a tush push every time they're on the 1 yard line. Maybe that's planned. They tell Saquon to go down. I don't know, but
I don't know what it is either, but it always seems like they always end up on the 1 yard line. Like
yes,
every freaking week, dude. I'm like, I don't get it.
I don't either.
I don't.
I don't.
Every freaking week. Um.
What's your thoughts on
So
this game?
obviously for the Eagles, man, Devontae Smith is out. That is it's a big blow. I mean, I know he hasn't been popping off the stat sheet the last couple of weeks, but just not having him out there for the Rams to account for is that's tough. Um, but dude, Saquon Barkley has been going ape shit.
Nuts,
I mean, nuts, ballistic,
bananas.
dude. Yeah, like Saquon Barkley he looks great. And like Brandon said, Jalen Hurts, you get what you get with Jalen. You get some passes where you're like, dude, what a pass. And you get some passes you're like, dude, what the hell is he throwing to?
Yep.
That's just kind of his MO. But I think Philly should win this game. I think Philly goes over in this game. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be closer than some people might expect. But the way that the way that Stafford's slinging that ball around to Nakua and Cup too, man, and Kyron Williams, he always has a nose for the end zone. I think it'll be a close game, but I think the
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles squeak it out.
All right. We got about 13 minutes before we have to reset the call. And the Baltimore Ravens and Chargers game, man, it's pretty simple for me. I told you after they lost to Pittsburgh, I feel bad for the Chargers. The Baltimore Ravens, it favors me as a sports gambler. The line is down to 2.5. They brought the Ravens lines back to realistic numbers, not having them favored by 10 and 8 and against a professional football team. Other than we did take the Lions minus 14.5, and they showed out. They beat the living shit out of the Jaguars. But the Baltimore Ravens are about to beat the living hell out of the Chargers. They're gonna beat the shit out of the Chargers. I would take the Baltimore Ravens plus minus 10 this week if it was the line. The Baltimore Ravens are gonna bounce back. They had one of the worst offensive showings I've seen all year with this offense, and they're gonna beat the shit out of them. And that's where I'm at with it. What do you have for this game?
Um, um, if the defense plays like they did against Pittsburgh last week, and the offense gets back to playing how they were previously to playing Pittsburgh, which playing against Pittsburgh's defense is it's never easy. For quarterback, running back, whoever. I mean, it's not, especially when it's a division game. Unless it's Jameis Winston.
I was just about to say,
Um,
unless it's Jameis.
no, he didn't have that, But man, there's talks that Khalil Mack won't be playing in this game, which would be a huge boost. Khalil Mack, I mean, he's not the same defensive player of the year candidate guy that he used to be. I mean, the man's 33 years old, but he's still playing really damn good for the
Yeah.
Chargers. He's still an impact player. Even with him being hampered, maybe he's not in on every snap, so that could be a huge boost for Baltimore. Roquan Smith had that hamstring injury last week. Tyler Linderbaum got a back injury, and Travis Jones had that ankle injury against you guys last week as well. So they're all questionable. Um, if the defense can play like they did last week and the offense can get back on track and get back to feeding the ball to Derrick Henry, then I think Baltimore goes over. But the secondary is going to have to keep up with Justin Herbert, who's really been playing well. The Chargers are getting healthy, and the Harbaughs, they play against each other really well. So it'll make for a storyline thing, but it's always kind of cool. I respect
Yeah.
both coaches, respect both teams, and enjoy watching, obviously, the Ravens, but enjoy watching the Chargers as well. So I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm looking forward to it. Um, I think we do go over in this game. I hope we go over in this game. But
Yeah.
no, I think we do go over in this game. I think we need to get right, and it'd be a big win to get one against the Chargers.
All right. Um, let me reset the timer real quick. Let me call you right back. Give me 2 seconds. Let me get Tim back on the line. The app we use that I call in from my computer, I have to. We have a 2-hour time limit, so we reset the timer when we get close to that 2-hour mark, just in case we do run over. I don't want to just hang up in the middle of it. Jonathan asked thoughts on Love this week. I like Love this week against that 49ers defense, not having Ward, not Bosa to come off the edge. I like Love's matchup this week.
Agreed. Same here.
Um, I really like this. This week is kind of rough with games. There's not any games that really stand up. I mean, hell, you have 6 teams on a bye this week. So it's gonna seem. I feel like this week might be seem like a little slow. For me, let's go over the picks real quick. I'm going the. I'm going the Detroit Lions -7. I am taking the Vikings minus 3.5. And I am going to go Eagles minus 3 against the Rams. And then the big one for Monday night, Baltimore Ravens minus 2.5. Beat the living hell out of it. Put your house on it. I don't give a damn. Baltimore's beating the shit out of the Chargers. Bounce back week. Lamar, Derrick Henry. Look out, man. Look out. That's all I got. Another successful week of podcast, being consistent. I like that we moved it to the night, like later in the day, so we have more questions, fantasy wise, and people shooting the shit. So we appreciate y'all. I do like that we moved it to later in the day on Saturdays, just for that fact. Steven, any closing thoughts?
I just want to say we appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys with the subscriptions and what was it, the ice cream cones? Is that what it was?
Yeah, just the golden coins, what it transfers to us.
Yeah, like that's really cool, man. Like we don't expect it, you know what I mean? But we do appreciate it, and we appreciate you guys tuning in and asking fantasy questions too, man. It makes us kind of jogs our brains a little bit, gets a little bit of debate going. It's definitely a change of pace as opposed to the routine of like, oh well, week 6 we got the. So it's definitely nice to have that. It's definitely nice to have you guys kind of interacting and everything, and we just appreciate you guys. So thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. I do want to throw this up on the screen. This is the playoff picture as it sits right now. Chiefs, Bills, Steelers, Texans, Chargers, Ravens, Broncos. That's your AFC. And on the NFC side, you have the Lions, the Eagles, the Cardinals, the Falcons, the Vikings, the Packers, and the Commanders. That's what the playoff picture looks like right now. Obviously, that can change this week, especially with the Rams and the Seahawks and the 49ers. I mean, these teams get wins, it puts them right in that race. So it's going to be some interesting weeks moving forward. 6 weeks left in the regular season before we get to wild card football. It seems like this year's just flying by. It's unfortunate. I hate when football season gets in like that. Oh no, here goes the playoffs, because then you only have a couple more weeks left of football, and we're back to, like Steven said, your life just ends for a couple months. But we will keep the podcast going, just reminiscing on the season, shooting the shit with you guys, just BSing about football. But yes, once again, thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Love all the love and support, all the new followers. And as always, we are BS Draftcast because we are Brandon and Steven,